The moral of the story is better than the moral of David versus Goliath because it's a better story. Think about it. Compare the two stories. I'd love to hear your argument. If you don't agree, put it in the comments. The moral of the story is that God's Spirit is going to win. See Luke 14. God is going to win. No matter what. Maybe you don't get to see me strike down their quote-unquote champion from the cult of the flesh. But eventually, because they challenge God, the Grim Reaper is going to collect. There's a certain pattern in nature. We see water, we see snow, we see salt water, we see rivers, lakes, streams, estuaries, the Nile Delta, reservoirs, rain, hail, snow. Are they connected? Is there some kind of connection? Yes. We see how animals have some conception of justice, some conception of fair play. And we see that as you get to a smarter and smarter person, a more righteous, more martial art-like person, that conception increases. I'm the most just person ever lived, the wisest person, and I'm the top martial artist ever. That's a pattern. That is evidence. That's not just someone making a claim. That is evidence. That is proof. Proof. Profound. Now, can you imagine someone who ignores that evidence and gives their offspring a pathetic heritage and then teach them to keep reproducing? Can those people be redeemed after thousands and thousands of years of persecuting anyone who's anything like me? No, not in the end. They need to scramble to obey God through me before it's too late. But after my flesh dies and the official final ending point has come, the end, done, they're not going to get a second chance. They breed 5,000 offspring, 5,000 generations. They will still not get a second chance or another chance. If they breed 5 quadrillion, zillion, billion, zillion, whatever the hell the number would be, just the biggest number you can think of, they still won't get another chance. Because for generations, you put your faith in the cult of the flesh. And your spirit, your heritage, who you are, is so petty, so toxic, far worse than a rattlesnake, far worse than a viper. It's so toxic that in 2026, people from your groups, from this planet, people outside the divine order, decided to cheat the most righteous person that ever lived in 2026. If I was making my case before God Almighty as his son, who do you think who would rule in favor of? The divine verdict is after my flesh dies, that's it. You had your chance. The gospel was preached to the world, as they said. And you chose to persecute me and mock me. You didn't even try to mitigate. Maybe if you try to mitigate, I'd say maybe you have some kind of snowball's chance in hell, so to speak, if for nothing else. But you didn't do that. You made sure your offspring aren't just sealed out of heaven, but they're headed for an extreme and horrifying fate. And the people who think that's a good idea, well, that's fine with me. Well, that's not how it works. And you say stupid shit, okay, you're going to get it much, much worse and forever. And that's going to be a sign, a covenant between God and I, that I won, I was right, and that you people are scum, and your treachery is so extreme that you must cook forever.